flash, boom, bang. Today we're going to be talking about making a flash draft. And no, you don't actually need any lightning to make this happen. A flash draft is when you are just trying to write something down in a flash, right? And when we think of in a flash, it means really quickly. So you're just trying to get all of your ideas out onto the paper. If you've watched the other, there are two other drafting mini lessons in this series. One is about telling your story out loud, so that before you start drafting, so it's to guide you in your drafting. And another is making a mental movie in your mind. So if you do those first to get started, then you're really going to be well equipped to just get going and write down all your words and do it all in a flash. Now, I want to show you some drafting that I've done and show you some of the things I do when I'm writing a flash draft. Let's take a look. Okay, here you can see the drafting I've done so far in this story. So I have the beginning, and you can see not only have I written, but I've circled some words, I've underlined some things, and let me show you why I do that. When I'm writing a flash draft, I don't want to get stuck up on, finding the best, most amazing words or making sure I spell everything perfectly. This is a draft, and it's okay to make mistakes. So let me show you. As I was writing, I wrote the word enjoy, but I actually wanted a better word, but I didn't want to stop and really take the time to think about it. I will fix that when I go back to revise. So what I did is I just circled it and I said better word. Here's another thing where I wasn't really sure about this word, so I said seeing this tiny crab scatter, so I underlined it and put a question mark. I might want to find a better word for that too. Down here I wrote the word absolutely, but I wasn't absolutely sure that I spelled it right. So instead of stopping and sounding it out and doing all those things that take some time, I just circled it and put SP. That's my code for check this spelling. So then after I'm done with my flash draft and I go back to revise and edit, I'm going to look at this word and make sure it's spelled correctly. So here are some other strategies I've used. Again, circling and just writing different word. I don't know. I want to go back and check that when I'm revising. Another thing, I did this in two places where this one, I wasn't sure which word I wanted to use. I had two words, so I just wrote them both and I circled it so I can choose that later. Also, I wasn't sure about if this word was further or farther. Not totally sure. So I circled it, put a question mark. Here's some more. Up here, Archer and Atlas told me, and then as soon as I wrote that, I was like, oh, that makes them sound rude. Maybe I want to use asked me. So I just quickly wrote it down, put a question mark, and circled it, so I can choose that later. Then also scattered and scurried. I'm not sure which word I want to use, which I'll check later to see which one sounds stronger. And then also I want to think of a really good metaphor to use in this part, but I just didn't have the time in my flash draft to do that. So I just wrote think of metaphor. I can go back and do that better when it's time to revise. So my advice to you, if you're working on a flash draft, is don't get caught up on word choice, don't get caught up on spelling. Have the story in your mind that you want to tell and do everything you can to get it out onto that paper, okay? And if something isn't right, if you know that a word, you're spelling it not correctly, but you don't really want to sit and think about it, circle it so that it gives you a key, a code, and you're when you go to revise, you can go, oh yeah, I have, these circle words. I'm going to work on those for word choice, and you can do that when you revise, okay? Flash drafts, get to it, and have fun. Bye.